Call the, are we
Yep.
unmuted? We call the, where are we? February planning board meeting to order. Did you get sworn in?
I did.
Okay, right. Madeline came tonight. Excellent.
Yeah, it's all squared away.
Okay. First up is the Birch Minor subdivision. We have a resolution for that.
Yes.
Okay. So we're ready just to read this and vote on it, correct, Warren?
Yeah,
Everything's in order?
so I just want to. I don't have. I'm looking for my copy of. Oh, here it is. Basis trade. Do you have an extra copy of
I
it?
had them on there. As long as you.
We sent it to you. Let's see, okay. Yeah, we're all set.
The driveway agreements are in order, or we're working on
Well,
that? We're working on this.
He's got to provide me with a driveway agreement and not, he had sent me. What he thought was a driveway agreement and it's not sufficient, so I spelled out. In paragraph 3 of the resolve clause. What he needs to have in his driveway agreement.
Okay,
He can do that afterwards, after the hearing.
got it. All right, so let me read this. Town of Pine Plains Planning Board, resolution approving the proposed minor subdivision for the property of G Card LLC. Parentheses David Birch, 618 Bean River Road, tax map number 13420-7072-00220-400-0000. Whereas G Card LLC is the owner of 20.37 acre parcel of land located at 618 Bean River Road in the town of Pine Plains, having tax map number 134200707202204000000. And whereas G Card has submitted an application to the town of Pine Plains Planning Board pursuant to the provisions of Article 2 of the Town Code, seeking minor subdivision approval to subdivide the said property into 3 building lots. Parcel 1 consisting of 4.684 acres, parcel 2 consisting of 8.590 acres, and parcel 3 consisting of 7.096 acres. And whereas the planning board conducted a public hearing on said application on January 10th, 2024, at which one neighbor submitted a letter in opposition to the project based on traffic concerns, and a town resident stated that she was familiar with the property and the adjoining road network, and that the addition of 3 lots on the road would not cause any significant traffic impacts. And whereas the public hearing closed on the same date and the planning board as lead agency has determined that this is an unlisted action and reviewed a part 1 and part 2 of the short environmental assessment form. And whereas the planning board determined after its secret review of the proposed subdivision would not have the potential for any significant environmental impacts, and that as a result would not be requiring the submission of a draft environmental impact statement. And whereas the applicant has provided documentation evidencing that it has received DOT approval for both driveways, one of which services parcel 2 and 3 and the other parcel 1, and whereas parcel 2 and 3, one. Oh, but we don't have to mention the other parcels. I want, okay, so, all right, the applicant has provided, documentation, sorry. Whereas parcel 2 and 3 are proposed to have shared common driveway accessing Dutchess County Route 59, and whereas the applicant has provided proof that the project has been reviewed and approved by the Dutchess County Health Department with regard to the well and septic systems on the property within the proposed subdivisions grants. Is that right? Oh, what should,
Within, just this proposed subdivision cross out plan. I don't know where that came from.
and should be one subdivision, right?
Subdivision.
Whereas an environmental review of this subdivision was conducted at the time, the planning board approved the subdivision lot line adjustment for lot 1, and the planning board issued a negative secret declaration. Now therefore be it resolved as follows, that the planning board hereby grants subdivision approval to the proposed subdivision of the property of G Card LLC as shown on the survey prepared by Sardo Land Surveyors dated December 12th, 2023, and authorizes the planning board chairman to sign the said subdivision map on the fulfillment of these conditions. That all development of the property shall be conducted in accordance with the approved subdivision map and in accordance with the approvals granted for the well and septic system on each lot by the Dutchess County Health Department. 3, that the applicant provides a shared driveway agreement between lots 2 and 3, which provides in relevant part the responsibility for the construction of the shared driveway and entrance onto County Route 59. 2, the care, maintenance, repair, and resurfacing of the driveway and apportionment of costs between the owners of lots 2 and 4.
Should be 2 and 3. Right? Yeah.
And 3, imposes an obligation on the 2 properties to keep the driveway and the driveway entrance open and safe for passage of motor vehicles and emergency motor vehicles in all weather conditions. To the attorney to the town for his review and approval, and upon approval that the said driveway agreement be filed in the office of the Dutchess County Clerk and proof of filing to the planning board chairman. That all, number 4, that all application escrow fees and other charges imposed on this application by the planning board and town code be paid prior to the signing of the site plan by the planning board chairman.
It should be the subdivision plat, not site plan.
All right. All right, so can I have a motion to accept this resolution as amended?
Second.
Right, Ethan,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
You're in.
Yes. Oh, man. Look at that. Call me off the bench anytime.
And I also vote aye.
And I did.
It's good.
Oh, Kate, I'm sorry.
You make those corrections, you want me to make it?
They were just.
Yeah.
I sent it to you in words.
Yeah, no problem.
6. So the motion carried by a vote of 6 to 0. 214. All right. Thank you very much. All set, Mr. Burke.
Well, yeah, will you send the maps tomorrow?
No, he has to get those other things straightened out, the driveway agreement.
Oh, and then.
Then once that's done, then Warren will let me know it's all set and then I'll sign it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Alright, next up is Stissing Storage. Did everyone get a chance to look at the lights?
Yeah.
They're much better, right? Like we. Um. So that's the only thing we had outstanding. Is that correct? Everything else is good. All right, so I'm gonna read this resolution. Town of Pine Plains Planning Board Resolution approving the application of Sissing Storage and Charge Smart EV LLC for site plan and special use permit approval for the installation of two dual port 32 amp wall mounted charging stations at the existing self-storage facility located at 2818 West Church Street, Pine Plains, New York, tax map number 687217185241. Whereas Stissing Storage operates a self-storage facility located at 2118 West Church Street, Pine Plains, New York, tax map number 6872-17-185241, consisting of approximately 0.88 acres. And whereas Stissing Storage operates the facility pursuant to a special use permit and site plan approval granted to Stissing Storage on or about.
I wasn't sure of the date. Can just change it to, approval previously granted. Without the date.
Because it was there,
Right.
probably, was it before
Right.
zoning, and did we do even the approval for the?
For the storage?
Yeah, because we did the additional one when they added some.
Yeah. I remember the addition, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we changed it just to,
Previously.
previously granted to Stissing.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the site plan approval previously granted to Stissing Storage. And whereas Stissing Storage and Charge Smart EV LLC has made application to the planning board for the installation and operation of two 32 amp dual port wall mount EVSE stations in accordance with the site plan submitted on May 3rd, 2023 and amended. What's the date of the latest?
Don't know.
Last month.
Do you have it, Bridget, do you have the date of what the amended site plan?
The 16th of January.
Yeah, because it was after our last meeting. Amended on January 16th, 2024. And whereas the town code enforcement officer, Drew Weaver, has advised the planning board that he has reviewed the application and determined that the proposed charging stations constitute an accessory use for the storage facility pursuant to the provisions of the Pine Plains Town Code. And whereas the planning board duly advertised and conducted a public hearing on said application on January 10th, 2024, and closed the public hearing on that same date. And whereas the application was referred to the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development for its review and approval pursuant to the provisions of section 239-M of the general municipal law, and Dutchess County Planning responded by indicating that this is a matter of local concern. And whereas the planning board, after the close of the public hearing, determined that this is an unlisted action under seeker and reviewed a short form part 1 of the environmental assessment form and completed part 2 of the short form EAF, and determined that this project does not have the potential for significant environmental impacts, and as a result, a draft environmental impact survey need not be prepared. And whereas the applicant, since the initial application, has amended the application to reduce the number of charging stations from 3 to 2 and the number of parking spaces from 6 to 4, and has proposed to use the existing lighting on the side of the building as shown on the amended site plan, which has been altered in a manner that will reduce the lighting impacts on the property and the neighboring properties and adjacent public road. Now therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby approves the site plan and special use permit application of the Stissing Storage and Smart Charge EV LLC for the installation and use of two charging stations as shown on the submissions and site plans provided to the planning board during the public hearing process, and be it further resolved that the planning board hereby authorizes the planning board chairman to sign said site plan, and be it further resolved that the charging stations, lighting, and parking shall be conducted in accordance with the site plan approved by the planning board, and be it further resolved that the approval of the special use permit and site plan are conditioned upon the applicant paying all application escrow fees and other charges imposed on this application by the planning board and town code prior to signing of the site plan by the planning board chairman. Can I have a motion to accept this resolution as revised?
So moved. Second.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, yes.
The date of the original second was it?
Oh, May.
Whisper.
That's a good point. The originally submitted, when did they originally, oh no, but maybe it was. But didn't they submit it and then they kind of disappeared for a while? Bridget, do you know, when did you guys originally submit an application?
I think I originally submitted the application in the fall, but I think that this project was originally like signed for in May, and that's when the site plan is created, when we originally like signed the proposal, the customer sends a proposal. So that would have been the
Yeah.
one they sent to that's dated in May. That makes sense, yes.
It was like a couple of months, then there was okay. So Ethan,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes. Or not? What's that? Really? Well, I don't know.
Kate,
Yes.
I remember that.
Southfield, 4 for 4.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 6-0. 1-2-14. 2024. So is there anything we're waiting for? Just, are they all paid up? Do we have physical copies of the maps?
No.
Okay, so you, Bridget, you have to provide us with some physical copies of the map, 2 for us and whatever you want for yourself. Then we will stamp it and sign it, and then you'll be good to go to Ed and get your permit.
Okay, great. And I should just mail those in?
Sure, if you guys wanna mail them in, you know. If, either way, mail them or drop them by here.
Are they standard size plans, or do you want me to blow these up? Like just on standard paper size, or?
No, usually it's a thing, a rolled up. What, yeah, I mean, like this. What is it?
Maybe 11 by 17
Yeah,
on this
I was gonna
one.
say-
You don't want to make a
Okay,
giant enlargement, right?
Yeah, it's just.
all right, 11 by
Not that big
17.
of an area.
Our engineer says that should be good.
Otherwise, you're gonna get like a 24 by 36 super magnification.
Replace that.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll mail those out to you tomorrow. And then it will go to building, you said, to Ed?
Well, you mail them to us, we stamp them and sign them. And then we keep 2. And we'll give you what you want, whichever, we'll have to sit, and then you get the building permit from Ed.
Is there a separate application for that now, or are we?
Separate.
Okay, great. I'll get in touch if I have any other questions, but thank you. I'll get those mailed out tomorrow.
All righty, thank you. And thanks
Thank
for
you.
fixing those lights. They look good now.
Yeah, yes, they look much better.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night, guys.
You too. All right, so next up is the Bathrick site plan review. Or sketch, really.
Yeah, that was
Um. I think you're Andrew.
Yes.
Do you want to talk on, stand up and tell us about your project? Come over to like in front of the calendar here, that area. Yeah, there you go.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Do we want us to pull up the map on the screen? We can do that.
What wants to take a look at?
Is there a map?
There is it's not so much a map, it's he was able to print something from parcel access.
Oh. Oh, yeah, there. Oh, no, that's two is. Oh, yeah, it is. It's only like something ways. There we go. Reading that is sure.
Nobody's watching, so don't worry about it.
What's?
Yay.
You find it's the machine slowing down or it's just with the
It's
Zoom?
the,
Zoom.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Sorry, that took me a while.
Okay.
So the red line starting at like the driveway back, that's like the proposed additional driveway I'd like to cut in. And the red square is kind of just where I want to stick, some of my equipment and park the trucks kind of down out of sight, out of mind.
And what trucks, does it explain to the board, and like what is this business you have?
I do excavating, land clearing, forestry work, so some of it, couple dump trucks, a bucket truck. And excavators, boulders, or whenever they're not out on the site, when they're back home, that's where I'd like to park them.
About how many pieces of equipment you truck?
8 at the most, including the trucks. But it's very rare that everything's back at once. So on the average, probably 4 to 5.
And Ed, you found this, what did you determine this would be under in the code as far as?
Equipment storage and home visits with no customers
And this is which zone?
or
It's a rural zone. And those are both allowed with what, a special use for? What is it?
with planning board approval.
Do you remember if it was a site plan and special use or just? Was it a special use permit? Was it SP or was,
I don't think it was, let me check.
okay. What's up, Warren? What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, special use under
It's a special use permit.
both of them.
What is that structure on the neighbor's property right there closest to the property line? Is that,
I think it's a chicken coop.
it's a chicken coop? So their house is up front here and this is just sheds
Yeah.
and things.
Yeah, I walk all down through there and it's pretty thick wood line. So you can't really see to the neighbor's house, or through it. And that's kind of in a lower elevation, so.
I don't have any questions.
There be maintenance being done on the equipment back there?
not back there, no. No, if any maintenance done, it's gonna be done up at the house, there's a garage at the house.
doing now?
Yeah, that's just gonna be just parking the stuff down, I figured. That's kind of the furthest point where it's out of sight, out of mind, nobody's gonna see it. So like I said, I'm not running the business out of there, just storing my equipment and trucks.
And so is this oriented toward the north? Is it, so what, to this direction here, northeast or whatever that is over to the right? How close is the house that's on that piece of property?
Pretty far back, so that's a farm. I think the house sits kind of way on the other side of the field, if I remember correctly.
Maybe it's over this way.
Like a touch.
Um. Warren, what do you think?
I don't think that's the right category. Would this come under equipment storage?
He said equipment short.
That's a, but there is no home. Is the business operating out of the house?
No, I'm not operating the business, just storing equipment there. That's where, the house is there, it's where we're gonna be living. Just parking equipment down in the corner.
Where's the address for the business?
Right now, it's in Pleasant Valley where we currently live.
Oh, it's gonna be moving
Yeah.
when,
You don't live there yet?
Right.
You don't own the property?
so you have. So the business will be addressed at his house, which is gonna be this. He has, what, do you have an option to buy it or?
Yes, yeah,
And he'll have equipment stored there, no customers coming, so it will be a home occupation with equipment stored. Home occupation, no customers.
So he has to make an application for a home occupation and equipment store.
Right, that's what Ed put it in as.
Okay.
So you think it's okay? We're gonna have to have a public, it's, okay, what's the issue?
I don't have the. Is it permitted? It's permitted in the five,
Especially with.
in that zone?
As a special use permit. It's a rural zone. It's the rural zone, so. How many acres is that problem?
3.8.
Occupation.
Yeah, you're gonna have two driveways? One of
It's gonna be one main driveway up to the house, but I'm gonna branch off of the existing driveway to go down to the back side of the property.
So the second driveway won't touch the road.
No, it's gonna be
Right.
branched off. the
Residential.
existing,
And what road is that border?
Sheldon Drive.
That's a private.
It's a-
No.
82
So this house is up here. What's this?
That's another house.
Is that a cul?
Is that the one that's right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the one I remember.
That's
How many years?
Samantha Fox.
Oh, okay, so that's fairly on the road too. That's on the one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it is far from everyone from
Right.
houses.
I think we need a better site plan though.
Yeah, that's.
Shows grading.
Yeah, wait till him to do a,
Highway and where it branches off. Where are you gonna,
Area disturbance, erosion control plan.
yeah, screening for neighboring property, looks like. people screen.
Should be.
do you think you guys wanna do a site visit to see the? Or should we just have them do pictures?
We
I'm
probably,
all for site visits.
we probably should just go.
Yeah, it's so much easier to get,
I'll go.
As long as we have a public hearing for this.
yeah, we definitely have
Stanford's
to.
going through this right now with somebody,
Mhm.
and that's a big to do.
No, definitely do a public, we have to do a public hearing. And we'd like to probably have a site visit where we set up a time and we come and, you show us where everything's gonna be.
okay,
Obviously it'll be daylight, so,
yeah,
we'll figure it out. What's up?
So you have to make a formal application for. Especially these permanent and
We have an application.
I didn't see the application, I just saw this now, there is an applicant.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I
do,
didn't
do
see it.
you have a copy you could print for one?
Yeah,
All I have is that.
it's on the same email as. Something.
I think that map, but on a separate email.
Oh, okay, there are two emails.
Yes.
And then I guess the other one. The other one has the application, you sent that to me,
Yes. And the Stewart's.
and it has application for both,
It
both you.
was just a site plan application.
It was site
Site plan
plan,
and
special use.
Was it both?
Yeah.
And so you're not the owner,
No, not currently.
are you contract ND, are you under contract?
We're signing contract this week.
Okay, so you're gonna have to have a permission of the property owner to make application.
Okay.
Do you have
Well,
that?
now,
The property
what if they
owner's
own it
listed
next-
on the,
Yeah,
Well, they
Special
own it
use
at the
permit.
time, then you don't need it. But at this point, he doesn't own it.
Right.
It's a contract.
So he has to have a permission of the.
Well, or we have to have a signed contract, and as a contract ND, he has a signed contract, he can make an application.
So you can just submit a copy of the signed contract. You said you're signing this week?
We're supposed to be.
Either that or permission of the property owner.
There's a form that gives it,
I still think you should get permission of the property owner, just. in
all
case.
right, just to cover your bases.
Yeah, they gave us verbal permission through the
Oh.
realtor.
Okay, but there's a form for them to sign. Just get that to him, you know the form, right?
which one?
The one that says that I can act on on behalf of this landowner.
I think, Ed has those.
You have that form?
Yeah.
All right, well, somebody get it.
And maybe he did it, environmental, that's short form. of environmental.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that we don't have.
No, I don't have any.
So. So they need a short form EAF,
Okay.
and you're gonna need to do like, have an engineer do plans. Like an actual site plan, as you heard George say,
Just to put in a driveway
and show,
Yep. What's gonna be in this one?
yeah, like where the disturbed area is gonna be and what'd you use?
Control plan.
What was that?
Erosion center control plan, any outdoor lighting is gonna be,
the type of surface it's gonna be.
yeah, gravel.
gravel, no lighting.
Yeah.
All
Well, it
on
has to be on the plan. And, anything else that he has to have on
I
it?
can think of it from moment.
Sounds like enough. Yeah.
So do we want, how do we want to do this, site visit? Well, we have to set, we're not quite ready to set a public hearing, so we're not ready for a public hearing yet. So,
It's just a sketch.
right. So we could, but we can set a site,
Application at the next meeting, set the public hearing and then schedule a site visit.
well, he gave us the application, he just doesn't have the other things, the short form and the official drawing.
These can get contentious.
But we can do a site visit before then, right?
Yeah, sure.
Although, wait, you have to talk to the current owner for us to do a site visit.
Yeah,
So I guess let us talk to them, get that form filled out, and then we could talk about when we could do a site visit.
okay, so.
Any, like a Saturday morning or what? Saturday morning?
Mhm.
A Saturday morning probably works for everyone.
Okay. Okay, so you guys can email me what I need to do as far as what documents and everything, or how do I?
What's that, Ed? Is that the consent form? Right. Yeah, I guess,
So send him the short form EFA part one, so that's,
yeah,
but it's the part one.
yes.
Yeah, I can email you that.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay,
And then as far as, like, you're gonna have to find an engineer or someone to do the drawings, and then they probably know what has to be, you would hope. But in our code, there is the list of what's required on a site plan.
okay.
I mean, Ed, you could point him to that too, right, where that is in the code, what's required.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
all right,
all right, thank you.
yeah.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
So he doesn't have to have, if it's a different driveway entrance, does he have to have something from the town? Or is it private?
No, because he's branching off his driveway, he's not touching the road, then we do need, and that's a
It's
town.
not in the picture, I just don't know.
Yeah, so nothing's.
I mean, for completeness sake, we could always just.
Make
refer
sure
to
on,
the highway
well, I guess when he
super and
comes
just
back
ask
when
him
the,
to-
from the.
Oh,
with-
fine.
Yeah,
To change of intensity of the driveway, I mean, I'm assuming it'd be all right, but. The highway-
So the change of restrictions.
Yeah, covenants and restrictions, and
What is it? Change of intensity?
intensity, yeah. Change of use or change of.
All right, so we better add that,
and
Yeah.
what,
the highway department should be consulting. About the driveway, it's not a new driveway, but the change in intensity of use. But where would we find the covenants and all that?
Oh. That's really just the landowners, that's not our problem.
You know, you actually.
So
We just find them on the subdivision map or look up the deeds if they have them,
Might be in the deed,
yeah.
but if it's part of a subdivision, often they have comments and restrictions about commercial uses. In the subdivision. So that's an issue for him.
I had one in Columbia County a couple of years ago. We warned the applicant about it. It's not a town enforceable thing. But everyone who owns property is vested in it and they can. So on the public hearing, after he was there for like 3 months, somebody in a different phase on the subdivision plat. Like 4 blocks over stepped up and said, I'm against this. This is against covenants of something. That's watch the whole thing.
We don't, the planning boards don't enforce those. But you may have a neighbor.
Yeah, a neighbor can, anybody in the subdivision can.
So I guess
We can look at the map.
it would have been good if we
It's
brought that
online.
up while we were still
I didn't
here.
look at it for covenants, but I mean, I can look at it on the parcel access, have the link to the subdivision map.
Oh, do that,
Yeah, so we can
okay,
pull the PDF and see if there's anything on there. We can also. Access the deeds through the clerk's office and just see if there's anything recited in there, so I mean, we'll have that. So,
sounds like he's not gonna know how to.
he probably would,
Yeah,
most people don't know to look for.
right. Okay, next up is Stewart's shop. How are you, Marcus? So this answers the question as to, I wonder why Stewart's hasn't started their project yet.
Had a number of back and forth with Dutchess County Department of Health in regards to our proposed septic. It's come down to our originally approved plan. We could have squeezed in the septic, but it never really gave us any, play for future if there's, growth in the amount of water usage. So we're proposing an additional, I believe it ends up being 0.223 acres of property to 60 feet further back into the lot, which will allow us to expand our proposed septic with Dutchess County 100% expansion area, but allow for further growth in the septic if needed in the future. Will not affect anything that was previously approved as far as the site plan is considered.
And what's that the hash of just the new
Is
area?
the additional property. We were
And what is that
to this.
rectangle that's around the no,
These
back
are the
up,
laterals.
right,
This rectangle here is 100% expansion. The
yeah,
the upper dotted, inside dotted line is the top of the basal area for the septic. So it's the flat area. The bottom is the 3-on-1 slope sloping down.
I see.
They have to be 10 feet off the property line from the bottom of the slope. So that's why we're there and there. We meet it. We didn't meet it going this way. So that's why we're looking for additional.
We have Dale signed off on this.
Yeah. Yeah, we're under contract. Oh,
Warren, It's a lot, I mean, there's a lot line adjustment.
Yeah. It's not a big,
Should we have to do a public hearing on this? Or no?
you can waive the, public hearing.
Yeah. And, well, anyone have any questions?
Can we finish it up tonight?
Well, I think Warren's got to do a resolution, right? Or can we,
Do you have full submission or everything you need?
do we have a, what do we need? Do we need a short form for this?
There was one submitted, as well as the application and this plan.
That's it, right?
Okay, with waiving the public hearing.
Mm.
Will you there any problem?
Can I have a motion to waive the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay,
You wanna go through the part two of the short form EAF?
sure.
You need a part two?
Yeah. Usually has.
Unfortunately.
Thank you.
Better when you just that right? Right? It's like knowing your attorney's phone number. Why do you know?
Will this proposed action create a material actually, as usual, please, I'm gonna answer. If you have a problem with how I'm answering it, speak up. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? No or small impact. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of the use of land? No or small impact. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No or small impact. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? No or small impact. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect the existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? No or small impact. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No or small impact. Will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies? No or small impact. Public or private wastewater treatment facilities? No or small impact. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? No or small impact. Will the proposed action result in adverse change to natural resources? Example, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, or fauna? No or small impact. Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? No or small impact. Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? No or small impact. Check this box if you determine based on the information and analysis above and any supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. I'm checking that box. Everyone's cool with all this, I take it?
Yes.
Okay. Now what, Warren?
Well, I can prepare a resolution for the next meeting. Is that gonna be all right? Okay. I think I have everything I need, I'll, to. So let's start.
County referral, just asking,
Lot line adjustment doesn't require that.
okay.
No.
Right from the road. I don't think so. I'll double check.
Just jotting your eyes around.
No, it was, remember they did that thing a couple of years ago where they were like,
We
oh,
have an agreement with
yeah,
where they waive certain referral If you could get a copy, it should be somewhere on file.
I can check where I would upload it, it'll say, exempt and list.
Yeah, find out. If we have to refer, we'll refer.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
much, thank you.
The January what's up, Scott?
Like a quarter acre?
Yeah, 0.223 or something? Why, what's up?
I was just curious what a quarter acre Pine Plains was going for, do you think?
What's that?
How much a
Oh.
quarter acre of land?
Mhm.
He's out the door, yeah, too late to ask him.
So the January minutes, did everyone get a chance to look at them? Can I have a motion to accept the January minutes? Yeah, I believe I sent around, there's some formatting changes.
Someone, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the minutes for January are approved. I have something that I rude to bring up, but has anyone noticed the Stissing Center put up this
That
like
was on my list.
giant mural thing, and it looks like to hide the construction scaffolding, but then they put these lights shining upward onto it, and they're on when they are there, but they've also been on when things are either completed or maybe they're just coming on at night all the time. I haven't totally got a
They're on when I go to work and that's 3, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, and they're shining up into the sky like 5,000 Kelvin, and
Sounds like a violation.
Ed, did they talk to you about that whole thing at all? This is a
The scaffold was really before moving.
right, but then they put that thing that
No, nobody mentioned.
what is that mural? So yeah, to
I
hide.
didn't talk to anyone on the board about it either, so it's okay. I brought that up in my meetings.
I mean, it's just the same thing over and over.
This thing isn't the problem. The
It's-
lighting is
it's
the
the
problem.
Yeah, it's not-
And Vicky's in Florida, otherwise we would have heard it from Vicky.
You want to reach out to them?
I think you got to reach out to them about the lights. They're very bright. They're on all the time, even when the place is not, ongoing event. When the lights in general are supposed to be turned off, whatever we said, within an hour of the event ending on the exterior lighting, and it's,
It was on all night.
Mhm.
Unless they flip a switch as I drive through town at 3:30 in the morning.
what
Motion light.
what's that?
That's when they're working.
Well, they're not.
I don't think those lights should be there at all. There's no reason for them.
Yeah, it's really, they're not compliant with our code as far as they're not supposed to be shooting up into the sky like that. It's our dark sky compliant, right? I mean,
They're on the side of the building, so they're not needed for events, right? Nobody's walking over there.
you're not talking about the lights that are I know there's lights underneath for like walking underneath the scaffolding and that, and lights on the scaffolding, but those ones that are showing the mural thing.
Yeah.
Is just, it's okay.
That's it.
Have you heard from Stissing House about their parking lot lights?
Contact me and said they'd get back and they haven't. So I'll contact
Swing around to them, please. And how about Tower Pizza? Or / the Legion with the parking lot? They're supposed to be coming to us. They put in this parking lot without permission,
I'm
they're supposed-
aware of that.
and they're supposed to be coming to us with an application, like it's, drainage issues, etc. They put in this giant impervious surface.
So is it the Legion who comes or the?
It's the Legion's the landowner, and they leased it to Tower Pizza. So either the Legion has to show up or they can send Tower Pizza with the approval, with the same consent form thing.
But
Drew has contacted them. The last we heard, they were supposed to be coming and submitting an application.
I wasn't aware of that, so that's right. That's because what's
Is there any more of these? Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
subject.
All right. Next, are gonna need to go into executive slash attorney-client session. But we might have to come out afterwards and vote on some, make some action. So I don't know how we want to do this, Tricia.
But you have to vote first to go to.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to do that, but then how are we gonna? We don't have access to the other office today,
Oh, you mean-
so can we like turn off the camera and
Yeah.
and
Mute it and.
turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so first, can I have a motion to go into executive session, attorney-client session for discussing litigation?
Are we inviting anybody else? Town board members?
Oh, we're gonna, George and the two town board members. No, you can,
Well, they want us.
you can stay. And Ed should be here too?
Yeah.
Do we need
So
him
everybody that's here.
or no?
Sure.
Oh, thank you.
More the merrier.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
All opposed? All right, we're going to executive session.
Does that cover, everybody in the open finance?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's
Yeah.
two town board members and code enforcement officer.
I'm fine with it. I love this whole solar project, so.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, once again,
We returned from executive session. Second.
all in favor?
I,
All opposed? All right, we're back in regular session and now can I have a
Move to adjourn.
motion to?
No actions taken,
No actions taken. We didn't make any decisions.
second adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Third.
All in favor?
Aye.